Most men over 60 have been told a quiet lie, that losing their erections, their energy, even their desire is just part of aging. But I'm going to say something that might shock you. Your masculinity isn't disappearing. It's being slowly shut down. And if you ignore it, you don't just lose performance, you lose confidence, intimacy, and that deep sense of being yourself. I've sat across from hundreds of men who told me the same thing. Doctor, I don't feel like me anymore. Not broken, not sick, just fading. But here's what most people never explain. This isn't about age. It's about blood flow that's no longer reaching where it should, hormones that are quietly dropping, and daily habits that are working against your body. I'm Dr. James, a urologist with over 30 years of experience helping men reclaim their strength, their vitality, and their confidence. And what I've learned is this. Sometimes, the difference between decline and recovery comes down to something surprisingly simple, something most men overlook every single day. In this video, I'll show you exactly what those missing pieces are and why restoring them can change everything. But first, you need to understand where the real problem begins, because it doesn't start where you think it does. 1. The root cause: declining blood flow. Let me tell you something most men don't expect to hear. The problem is not your age, it's your circulation. Because the moment your blood flow begins to slow down, everything else follows. Your energy drops, your prostate becomes more sensitive, and your ability to get and maintain a firm erection starts to fade. Quietly at first, then more noticeably. Here's what's happening inside your body, in simple terms. An erection is not just desire, it's a blood flow event. When you're stimulated, your body releases a signal that tells your blood vessels to open wide. This allows blood to rush in and create firmness. That signal depends on nitric oxide, a natural compound your body produces. But after 60, your production of nitric oxide declines. Your blood vessels become narrower, less flexible, slower to respond. And when that happens, blood simply can't reach where it needs to go. You start noticing the signs. Erections that don't last, less rigidity, reduced sensation. You wake up without that natural morning response. You find yourself going to the bathroom more often at night because poor circulation can also affect your prostate function. And over time, it begins to affect how you see yourself. I remember a patient named Harold, 71 years old. He sat quietly for a moment before saying, "Doctor, I don't feel like a man anymore." That sentence stayed with me because he wasn't talking about performance, he was talking about identity. He had started avoiding closeness with his wife, not because he didn't love her, but because he was afraid of failing. That fear slowly turned into distance. But here's what I told him, and what I want you to hear clearly. This is not the end. This is not something you just accept. Your body still has the ability to respond. Your blood vessels can become more flexible again. Your circulation can improve. And when it does, function often returns with it. Start simple. Move your body every day, even just a short walk. Get morning sunlight. Stay hydrated. These small actions help your body restore nitric oxide and improve blood flow naturally. And when you begin to reopen those pathways, you're giving your body a chance to come back. Because here's the truth. Circulation is the foundation, but there is one key nutrient that directly supports this process, something your body is likely missing right now. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next: vitamin D. 2. Vitamin D, the circulation catalyst. Most men are missing. Let me say this clearly. You can walk every day, eat reasonably well, and still struggle with weak erections and low energy if your body is missing one critical signal. And for many men over 60, that missing signal is vitamin D, not because you've done something wrong, but because your body simply doesn't produce it the way it used to. Here's why this matters. Vitamin D plays a direct role in how your blood vessels function. It helps your body produce nitric oxide, the very signal that tells your vessels to relax and open. When vitamin D levels are low, your vessels stay tighter, more rigid, less responsive. Blood flow becomes restricted, and without proper blood flow, the penis cannot fill the way it should. It's that simple. At the same time, low vitamin D is linked to lower testosterone levels, which means less desire, less drive, and less overall vitality. The symptoms often show up quietly. You feel more tired than usual. Your erections are weaker or slower to respond. Morning erections disappear. You might even notice more frequent urination at night because your prostate is not getting the healthy circulation it needs. And over time, these small changes begin to add up. I remember a patient named Stephen, 66 years old. He told me, "Doc, I still feel young in my mind, but my body doesn't follow anymore." He had started pulling away from intimacy, not because he didn't care, but because he didn't trust his body to respond. When we tested him, his vitamin D levels were low, very common. We corrected that, nothing extreme, just consistent daily support. A few weeks later, he came back and said something I hear more often than you'd think. "I feel like something woke back up." And that's the key. This is not permanent decline. This is a correctable deficiency. Your body still knows what to do. It just needs the right input. So here's what I recommend. Get 15 to 20 minutes of morning sunlight on your skin whenever possible. Add foods like fatty fish into your diet. And if you're not getting enough, consider a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement, the form your body actually recognizes and uses. Keep it simple. Stay consistent. Because once you begin restoring that signal, blood starts moving again. And when blood flow improves, everything changes. But even with better circulation, your body still needs the energy to use that blood effectively. And that's where the next piece comes in, vitamin B12. 3. Vitamin B12, the energy engine your body is running low on. Let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you felt truly energized from the moment you woke up? Not just awake, but clear, focused, ready. Because many men over 60 don't lose performance first, they lose energy. And without energy, everything else begins to fail quietly. Here's what most people don't realize. Your body depends on vitamin B12 to convert the food you eat into usable energy. It also helps produce red blood cells, which carry oxygen through your bloodstream. And oxygen is critical. Without it, your muscles weaken, your brain slows down, and your sexual function suffers. Because an erection doesn't just need blood flow, it needs oxygen-rich blood delivered with enough force and consistency. But after 60, your body absorbs B12 much less efficiently. You can eat well, even take supplements, and still be low. And when that happens, the symptoms can feel confusing. You wake up tired, you lose motivation, your mind feels foggy, your libido drops. And in the bedroom, things don't respond the way they used to, not because the desire is gone, but because your body simply doesn't have the energy to act on it. I remember a patient named Leonard, 65. He looked healthy on the outside, but he told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm running on empty all the time." He had started avoiding intimacy, not out of disinterest, but because he felt drained before anything even began. His confidence took a hit. His relationship became quieter, more distant. When we checked his levels, his B12 was low. We corrected it using the right form, consistently. A few weeks later, he came back with a different look in his eyes. More alert, more present. He said, "I didn't realize how much energy I had lost until it came back." And that's what I want you to understand. This is not just aging. This is your body lacking fuel, and fuel can be restored. Your system can wake back up. So here's a simple step. Choose a high-quality B12 supplement in the form of methylcobalamin, the type your body can use immediately. Take it daily, ideally in the morning. Support it with protein-rich meals. Stay consistent, because energy builds over time. And when it returns, so does your responsiveness, your clarity, and your drive. But even when you restore blood flow and energy, there is still one silent factor that can slowly undo your progress from the inside. And that's exactly what we're going to look at next, vitamin E. 4. Vitamin E, the protector of your blood vessels and hormones. There's something I see all the time in men over 60. They start improving their habits, maybe even taking the right vitamins, and yet, the results don't last. Energy comes back a little, blood flow improves slightly, but then, slowly, things begin to slip again. And the reason is often something silent, something most men never think about: ongoing damage inside the body. Every single day, your blood vessels and hormone systems are exposed to what we call oxidative stress. You don't feel it. You don't see it. But over time, it wears things down. Your arteries become less flexible. Your circulation weakens again. Your testosterone begins to decline. And when that happens, the same symptoms return. Weaker erections, lower desire, slower recovery, more frequent urination at night as the prostate becomes more sensitive and inflamed. I remember a patient named Walter, 72. He had already improved his diet, started walking daily, even corrected his vitamin D and B12, and he did feel better for a while. But then he told me, "Doc, it's like I take one step forward and then slowly drift back." What was missing wasn't effort, it was protection. His body was still under constant internal stress. We added one key element, vitamin E, not a quick fix, but a steady shield. Vitamin E works by protecting your blood vessels from that daily wear and tear. It helps maintain their flexibility so blood can continue to flow smoothly. It also supports hormone balance, helping your body hold on to healthy testosterone levels. And when your vessels stay open and your hormones stay stable, your performance becomes more reliable again. Within a few months, Walter came back with a different tone in his voice. Calm, confident. He said, "This time, it stayed." And that's what matters. Not just improvement, but lasting improvement. So here's what you can do. Add simple sources of vitamin E into your day. A handful of almonds, sunflower seeds, a drizzle of olive oil, dark leafy greens. Or if needed, choose a natural vitamin E supplement with mixed forms, not the synthetic kind. Keep it consistent. Let your body rebuild and protect at the same time. Because restoring your body is not just about boosting what's low, it's about defending what you regain. And now that you understand the three essential pieces, blood flow, energy, and protection, there's one critical mistake that can cancel all of it out, and most men are making it without even realizing it. 5. The biggest mistake most men keep making. Let me be direct with you. I've seen men do almost everything right and still fail to see results. Not because their bodies couldn't recover, but because of one simple mistake that quietly cancels everything out. And that mistake is this: treating all vitamins and habits as if they're the same. Your body is not a machine you can trick with random inputs. It responds to quality, consistency, and the right signals. When you take the wrong form of a vitamin, or you take it inconsistently, your body doesn't get what it needs. Blood flow doesn't improve the way it should. Nitric oxide stays low. Hormones remain unstable. And over time, the symptoms continue. Weak erections, low energy, frequent nighttime urination, that slow loss of confidence that no one talks about, but every man feels. I remember a patient named George, 69. He came to me frustrated. He said, "Doc, I've tried everything. Supplements, diets, nothing works." When I looked closer, I saw the problem immediately. He was taking low-quality versions of vitamins, inconsistent doses, skipping days. Expecting results without giving his body a steady foundation, his body wasn't failing, it was confused. We simplified everything. The right forms, taken daily, no shortcuts, no guessing. And within weeks, things started to shift. His energy stabilized, his erections became more reliable, but more importantly, his confidence returned. He told me, "I thought I was beyond help, but I was just doing it wrong." And that's what I want you to understand. This is not about doing more. It's about doing it right. Your body needs clear, consistent support. The right type of vitamin D, the right form of B12, natural vitamin E, taken every day, not when you remember, but as part of your routine. Because your blood vessels don't rebuild overnight, your hormones don't stabilize randomly. Your body responds to patterns, and when those patterns are correct, results follow. So here's my advice. Stop guessing. Stop jumping from one solution to another. Choose a simple plan and stick to it. Give your body time to respond, because when you do, something powerful begins to happen. Things stop declining and start rebuilding. And once you understand that, The next step becomes very clear. You don't need complexity. You need a simple daily routine that supports blood flow, energy, and performance without overwhelming your life. 6. A simple daily routine that rebuilds blood flow and vitality. Let me make this simple for you. Most men don't fail because they don't care. They fail because everything feels too complicated, too many pills, too many rules, and in the end, they do nothing consistently. That's the real problem. Not age, not genetics, but the lack of a simple, repeatable routine your body can rely on. Your body thrives on rhythm. When you give it the same signals every day, it begins to respond. Blood flow improves. Nitric oxide production increases. Hormones stabilize. But when your habits are random, your body stays confused. And that confusion shows up as fatigue, weak erections, low desire, and those frustrating nights of waking up again and again to use the bathroom. I remember a patient named Frank, 73. He told me, "Doc, I don't have the energy for complicated plans." And I told him, "You don't need one." We built a simple routine. Nothing extreme, just consistent. Every morning, he started with a glass of water. Then he took his B12 with breakfast to fuel his energy early. After that, he stepped outside for 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight to naturally support his vitamin D levels and circulation. During the day, he added small sources of vitamin E, a handful of nuts, a bit of olive oil, simple foods. And most importantly, he walked. Just 15 minutes, every day. Within weeks, he noticed something shift. Not overnight, but steadily. His energy improved. His sleep became deeper. His confidence slowly returned. And one day he said, "I feel like my body is finally working with me again." That's the goal. Not perfection, but cooperation between you and your body. So here's what I want you to do. Keep it simple. Morning hydration, daily B12, sunlight or vitamin D3, vitamin E from food, and a short walk. That's it. No overwhelm, no excuses, just consistency. Because when you repeat the right actions every day, your body begins to rebuild itself. Blood flows better. Hormones stabilize. Performance improves. And most importantly, you start to feel like yourself again. And this is where everything comes together. Because what you've seen is not a miracle, it's a method. A way to take back control, step by step. And in the end, that's what this is really about. Not just improving your body, but reclaiming your life. 7. Conclusion. Reclaiming strength, one choice at a time. There comes a point in every man's life when the body no longer responds the way it used to. Not suddenly, but gradually, subtly. And if you're not paying attention, that slow decline can quietly take away your energy, your confidence, and your sense of self. But what matters most is this. Your body is not simply wearing out. It's responding to what it's missing and what it's given. What we've uncovered today is not just about 3 vitamins. It's about understanding how your body truly works. Blood flow, energy, protection. These are not luxuries. They are foundations. And when you support them correctly, your body doesn't just survive, it begins to recover. Now think about the next 1 to 5 years. You have 2 paths in front of you. One where small issues are ignored, slowly becoming bigger problems, more fatigue, weaker performance, less independence. Or another path where you take control early, where you nourish your body daily, where you protect what still works and rebuild what's been lost. Aging is real, but decline is not always inevitable. And the men who understand this, who act on it, are the ones who don't just live longer, they live stronger.